Hey guys, this is Ash and you're watching WriterGAsh. So today I'm doing my April wrap-up, and without further ado, let's get into the books I read in April. So the first book I read in the month of April, first book I finished, was Siege and Storm, which is the second book in the Grishaverse, in the Shadow and Bone series. I started it at the end of March. It was really hard for me to get through. For some reason, I couldn't connect with the characters in this series, and it was really hard to follow this book. And I will admit, Ruin and Rising, which is the second book I read this month, did get better. It just wasn't up there for me. I loved the world they built. I loved the Grishowers. But the characters and the stories just were not connecting. This plot was interesting, no denying that. It's just, it was not connecting, and I just wasn't feeling it. But that was the second book I read this year. The next book I read was Six of Crows. It was one of the first, if not the first, book I read in college. And my heart was. It was great. I will say, recently I've noticed I've struggled getting into books. And I face the same struggle with this, so it might not be the books themselves, it just might be me. But I was really struggling getting in, but like about 1/4 of the way through, once I was hooked, I was hooked. And even when I wasn't really into it, it wasn't like the story wasn't getting to me. It was still great, I was still enjoying myself, it just was a slower process for me. After reading Six of Crows, I read Crooked Kingdom. Oof. The first time I read the Six of Crows duology, Six of Crows was my favorite. And this time, Crooked Kingdom just hit different. Again, I did struggle with it a little bit in the beginning, but nothing to do with the book. It was completely me, probably, because it's happened with literally every book I've read. But once I was through the first little bit, I was just crazy gone. It's just, the crows will always hold a special place in my heart, and I will say, if you're planning on watching the Shadow and Bone TV show, even if you don't read Shadow and Bone itself, which I personally, if it weren't for the whole Grishowers and for the whole everything, I would never recommend. But if you don't read Shadow and Bone, you'd still enjoy the Alina, Mal, Darkling part of it. But if you read Six of Crows, you will love the TV show even more, because you get to see these characters you've already fallen for on the screen, and it's beautiful. And the way she writes the crows is just phenomenal, so you connect with them in the books, and then on screen they're just amazing, and it's just beautiful. Anyway, after Crooked Kingdom, I decided to read like the 2 short stories or like novellas or whatever that she had written. Leigh Bardugo had written in the Grishowers. The Tailor, about Jenya's point of view when she was hiding letters from Alina, and The Demon in the Wood, which is a prequel for the Darkling story. I just read them so I had an idea if in case they did a Darkling prequel in the TV show. And yeah, I just wanted to have that background before I got in the show. And after that, I watched the show, and it was amazing. That TV show is literally my new favorite TV show. It is just so well done. Absolutely unrelated to my reading wrap-up, but I also watched this Shadow and Bone TV show this month. And oh my god, it is literally the best show I've ever watched. The characters were so complex. The casting was phenomenal. Like, the way Inej popped up on screen, I loved the aging up of the characters. I think it fit the story really well, and I think it works well with what they're trying to do. I loved incorporating Six of Crows into this whole thing, because it's a beautiful way to tell both stories and allows for more incorporation in the future. So when we're done with the first 3 seasons, because I feel like the show has been successful enough to get more, like a full series thing. After the first 3 seasons, when we get the Six of Crows seasons, like where they're the primary storyline, They're still primary characters in this, but they'll be the primary storyline there. I'm hoping we still get a bit of Ravka in the background because of the way they've established the show. And then after the Six of Crows storyline, when they go into the King of Scar storyline, books I have not read yet, but I will in May. But when they go into the King of Scar storyline, I do want to see Inej, Kaz, Wylan, and Jesper's lives play out as well. And it's just gonna be really interesting how it all works. Anyway, so that's it for my wrap-up video. This is all I can do without spoiling anything, and I hope you guys have a great day.